Merugu Kaushik.
Yes, ma'am.
What are the current affairs today?
Ma'am, today the most important news that I studied was about the ULFA signed peace accord. And then there was the year-around trends that have come, like whatever has happened in the year in the political sphere, in the financial sphere. Along with that, there were few articles about India's next, how the projections for India in the 2024 with respect to political as well as the coming elections and how are the trends going to be.
Recently, IMF gave a report on India with respect to sovereign debt. Do you have an idea about that?
No, ma'am, I didn't get the opportunity to look at it.
India also countered that. India released a statement for that. You don't have idea about that?
Yes, ma'am. I have read about it that India has said that we are stable. That and India has countered saying that the methodology that was followed was not in accordance with the true principles. And this is what I remember reading, ma'am.
Okay. Kaushik, yesterday Modi ji inaugurated the refurbished airport in international airport at Ayodhya.
Yes, ma'am.
What is the original name of Ayodhya?
Ma'am, I'm not aware of the.
There's one more name for Ayodhya. We can call Ayodhya in another name also.
I am not able to recollect it.
Saketa.
Yes.
Why Ayodhya is also called as Saketa? What do you mean by Saketa?
Ma'am, I'll have to read about it, ma'am. I'll read.
Okay. Recently, government passed election commissioners bill.
Yes, ma'am.
In that, there is a search committee and selection committee. Can you explain the process of appointment of election commission according to the latest bill?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, according to the latest bill, the selection process has been in a stepwise manner, wherein the search committee initially identifies those eligible candidates who are eligible to be appointed.
Shortlists.
Sure. Yes, ma'am.
How many candidates it will shortlist?
Ma'am, I'm not sure about the exact
5
number.
candidates. Yes. My question is, can the selection committee identify or recommend another person who is not shortlisted by search committee?
Ma'am, as far as I remember and I read, it can recommend.
It can recommend. Are you sure?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, it can recommend.
Yes,
okay. Ma'am. So, who are the members in the selection committee?
Ma'am, the selection committee members include the Prime Minister of India, the leader of opposition, and a union cabinet minister nominated by the Prime Minister.
So, what about Chief Justice?
Ma'am, the Honorable Chief Justice of India is not there in the selection committee.
So, but in March 2023, the Supreme Court recommended to have a selection committee with Chief Justice of India. Do you support Chief Justice to be a member in the panel of selection committee? Or do you support the selection committee is can better perform without Chief Justice?
Ma'am, while...
what do you think?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am,
inclusion or exclusion of Chief Justice, what is the right idea?
Ma'am, both of them should be evaluated independently. While inclusion of Chief Justice would have given the judiciary an independent body a say in the selection process. But the current process also, because it is done according to the parliamentary will, has its own merits, ma'am. Wherein...
what? I'm asking, what do you support? I don't want a balanced answer from you. What do you support?
Ma'am, I would support inclusion of Chief Justice of India for
Why?
the independence.
Why?
Ma'am, it would bring in a balance of 3 different parties. It would not give the edge to the ruling party as that is the most contentious issue at present.
Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Already, most of the appointments are political appointments. Appointment of CAG, appointment of election commission. Yes, and there should be a committee even for CAG also. Appointment of CAG. Even veterans like 𝐾𝐨𝐽𝐵 Advani,
yes,
Karunanidhi, they also advocated for that. So coming back, there are 3 new criminal laws that are coming up. Yes, already passed in both the houses and signed. I think it is signed by the president also. Now the question is, name all the 3 bills.
Ma'am, the first one is Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita.
Bharatiya or Bharata?
Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita,
yes,
ma'am.
Bharatiya Nyaya Samhita.
The second one is Bharatiya Nagarik Surakshit Sanhita.
Okay.
The third one is Bharatiya Saksha Adhiniyam bill, ma'am.
Okay.
The 3 replace.
How many sections are there in Bharatiya Saksha?
Ma'am, I'll have to read about
170 sections. Yes. What is section 152 of Bharatiya Nyaya Samhita. What is section
Yes, ma'am.
152 of Bharatiya Nyaya Samhita?
Ma'am, section 152 of Bharatiya न्याय Sanhita deals with the if any person tries to cause an damage to the sovereignty and integrity of India, they would be charged with certain sentences. It has defined the punishment to be given to person who is creating a negative impact on the sovereignty and unity and integrity of India.
Very good, very good. So, what are the recent? There's a bill called Telecommunications Bill, which was passed in both the houses. So, what are the challenges, or what are the loopholes, or what are the pitfalls of the bill?
Ma'am, it has a few loopholes, but the first thing that comes into my mind is the loophole of government being able to take up the administration or functioning of the telecommunication service providers in the time of emergency situations.
Emergency.
Emergent.
Is it emergency?
It is not the emergency.
What is the word that was mentioned?
I'm unable to recollect the exact.
It's not emergency. It's national security. It is not emergency. Okay, enough. Expand NATO.
NATO is North Atlantic Treaty Organization.
When it was formed?
It was formed post World War II, ma'am. I'm not able to recollect.
1949.
Yes, ma'am.
The question is, one country is almost about to join in NATO. Name that country.
Sweden.
So now tell the process to join NATO. I want to join NATO. I'm a country.
Ma'am, NATO has the principle of open application.
Application?
Like.
Is it application?
Not application.
Open door policy.
Open door policy.
Which article of NATO deals with open door policy?
Ma'am, Article 10 of.
Are you sure?
Yes, ma'am. I'll have to read about it, ma'am. I'm not sure exact.
Which article of United Nations Convention on Law of Sea deals with exclusive economic zone? Why it is in news?
Ma'am, it is in news because, ma'am, the article I'm unable to recollect, but it is in news because of the recent bombings or the recent attack that has happened on two merchant ships in the
close to our
close
EEZ.
to our coastal region.
Very good. So, tell 3 leadership qualities you feel that you have with you.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, the first one is having a strategic vision. Second one is.
Why don't you smile?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, the second one is a good team management skills which are required for a leader. The third one is having empathy, which is very much important for a leader.
Why do you want to become a civil servant? What made you to write this exam?
Ma'am, the motivation started with my mother telling about what a civil servant can actually do for the society. And then it went on with myself researching more about it and getting to know the opportunities the job provides. Along with that, the personal satisfaction that I would get working in this job role after talking to few people, the job impact that it can create on people, as well as at a personal level what it can contribute to my growth are the major reasons because of which.
Done, Kaushik. Your mock is over. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.